Rejection makes a man stronger.
What if the blueprint for escaping the 21st century rat race wasn't found in a self-help book, but in a shed built for $28.12.5? It sounds absurd, a historical curiosity. But what if I told you that over 175 years ago, one man did exactly that? Not as a retreat, but as an act of war. An experiment to discover a way of living that promised not material riches, but a wealth of freedom, purpose, and an ungovernable mind. He found it. He distilled 4 principles, timeless rules for a life of strategic simplicity and self-reliance. And today, these rules are more than just a story. They are the ultimate antidote to our world of engineered anxiety, manufactured distraction, and the quiet, creeping sense that we are no longer the authors of our own lives. These are the 4 rules of life from the man who walked away. Section 1. The problem. The quiet desperation of modern life. Let's be honest for a moment. Why are you tired? Not physically, set that aside. I mean emotionally, psychologically. Why do you feel that low-grade hum of anxiety under the surface of your day? That sense of being pulled in 1,000 directions by forces you don't control and a schedule you didn't consciously choose. We live in an age of unprecedented abundance, yet something feels deeply wrong. There's a disconnect, a feeling of being a passenger in your own life. Over a century and a half ago, the philosopher Henry David Thoreau gave this feeling a name. In his book Walden, he wrote that the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. When he wrote those words, the world was in the grip of the Industrial Revolution, a new machine for living that demanded conformity in exchange for status. He saw people trading their innermost convictions for a relentless pursuit of wealth, building lives that looked successful on the outside but were hollow on the inside. Does any of that sound familiar? Today, the machinery of that desperation has only become more sophisticated, more intimate. The factory floor has been replaced by the infinite scroll, where you're constantly measuring your real life against someone else's curated performance. The pressure to conform isn't in your town, it's in the global village of the internet, which manufactures desire and anxiety at an astonishing speed. We are told that happiness is one more purchase, one more milestone, one more like away. But the goalposts are designed to move. This is the modern rat race, a frantic, exhausting chase for things we're told will make us happy, but which only leave us more tired, more in debt, and more disconnected from what's real. We are overburdened, stressed, and running on cognitive fumes, and we've accepted this state of emergency as normal. This is the quiet desperation of the 21st century. It's the feeling of having a life that is full to the brim, yet fundamentally empty. But what if this desperation wasn't a mandatory part of being human? Thoreau was convinced it wasn't. His entire life's work was a rebellion against this default setting. He believed you could escape the trap. His answer wasn't complicated. It didn't require a lottery win or a dramatic escape. It started with a patch of woods, a borrowed axe, and an idea so radical it still feels dangerous today. Section 2. The story. The man who went to the woods. In 1845, Henry David Thoreau was 27. A Harvard graduate living in Concord, Massachusetts, he saw his peers and neighbors caught in a cycle of work and consumption, chained to their property, their jobs, their obligations. He felt that life was being frittered away by detail. He refused to participate. So he began an experiment. He got permission from his friend, the writer Ralph Waldo Emerson, to use a piece of woodland near Walden Pond. There, Thoreau set out to build a life from first principles. His goal was not to become a hermit. He walked into town regularly for supplies and conversation. His goal was far more profound. As he later wrote, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, and to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I hadn't lived." Read that again. To not, when I came to die, discover that I hadn't lived. This was the terror that drove him, not the fear of poverty, but the fear of a life lived on autopilot. So he began. He borrowed an axe and felled young white pines for timber. He bought a worker's shanty and recycled the boards. He dug a cellar, raised a frame, and built a chimney from stones he pulled from the pond's shore. He kept a meticulous record of every cent. The final cost for his 10 by 15 foot cabin? $28.12.5. For 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, this was his home. He planted a bean field, not just for food, but as a meditation. He fished, foraged, and baked his own bread. He spent his days observing the way ice formed on the pond, the territorial wars of ants. He filled his journals with the raw data of existence. This would become his masterpiece, Walden. This experiment wasn't about deprivation, it was about liberation. By stripping away everything that was non-essential, he discovered what was. And in doing so, he reclaimed his most valuable resource, his time. Time to think, to write, to walk, to simply be. He calculated that he could cover all his annual expenses by working for only 6 weeks out of the year, leaving the rest of his life for his actual work. In that small cabin, Thoreau wasn't just surviving. He was conducting a deep spiritual investigation into the nature of a good life. And from that investigation, he extracted a powerful philosophy. A set of principles for living with a clarity that most people only dream of. This is the blueprint he left behind. Section 3. The 4 Rules. So what did he find? What are these principles that serve as an antidote to modern anxiety? They aren't complex formulas. They are 4 foundational rules for living, born from direct experience. Rule 1. Simplify, simplify, simplify. This was Thoreau's central command. Our life is frittered away by detail. Simplify, simplify. This wasn't a suggestion. It was a call for radical subtraction. He argued that we should reduce our affairs to 2 or 3, and not 100 or 1,000. He saw that most of what we call luxuries are not just unnecessary. They are positive hindrances to the elevation of mankind. Think about how deeply this challenges the modern operating system. We are programmed to believe more is better. A bigger house, a newer car, more followers, a more impressive title. Thoreau saw this for what it is, a trap. He recognized that every new possession, every added complexity, doesn't just add to our lives, it lays a claim on our time and our attention. The more you own, the more you have to maintain, to organize, to worry about. The more you own, the more you are owned. In his cabin, he put this into practice. He famously had 3 chairs, 1 for solitude, 2 for friendship, 3 for society. That's it. He patched his clothes instead of buying new ones. By wanting less, he needed to earn less. By earning less, he owned his time. This is strategic emptiness. How do you apply this? It starts with a question. What are the essential facts of your life? What truly matters? And what is just noise? This is the philosophy behind modern minimalism, but not as an aesthetic. It's about decluttering your home, your calendar, your digital feeds, and your mind to make space. It's about saying no to the commitments that drain you. It's choosing to curate your life with ruthless intention. The goal isn't poverty. The goal is to remove the superfluous so the essential can be seen. To trade manufactured desires for authentic ones. You are not losing things. You are gaining control. Rule 2. master the art of self-reliance. For Thoreau, self-reliance wasn't just about building your own house or growing your own food. That was just the physical manifestation. The deeper meaning was intellectual and spiritual. It means trusting your own thoughts, your own intuition, above the noise of public opinion. It means cultivating an unshakable inner compass. He wrote, "If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away." This is a declaration of independence for the individual. In his time, conformity was the path of least resistance, just as it is now. But Thoreau argued this path leads directly to quiet desperation. His time at Walden was a masterclass in cultivating this inner authority. By spending long periods in solitude, he wasn't running from others. He was running toward himself. In the quiet, he could finally hear his own thoughts, free from the chatter of the crowd. He learned to trust his own experience as the primary source of truth. In our hyper-connected world, this is more vital and more difficult than ever. We are conditioned to seek external validation for everything. We post a photo and wait for the likes. We look to influencers to tell us what to believe. We have, in many ways, outsourced our own intuition. To practice self-reliance today is to consciously reclaim that inner authority. It means spending time alone, without a screen. It means learning skills that build a sense of capability. It means forming your own opinions based on your own reflection, not adopting the talking points of your chosen tribe. It is the courage to trust that you are the ultimate authority on your own life. When you are self-reliant, you are no longer a leaf blown by the winds of opinion. You are the tree, rooted in your own truth. Rule 3. Redefine your definition of wealth. Our society has a very clear definition of wealth: money, possessions, or status. Thoreau looked at this and saw a profound spiritual error. He proposed a radical redefinition. He wrote, "A man is rich in proportion to the number of things which he can afford to let alone." Read that again. A man is rich in proportion to the number of things he can afford to let alone. For Thoreau, true wealth wasn't accumulation, but liberation. It was about wanting little, not having much. The endless pursuit of more, he observed, was a form of self-imposed slavery. You work long hours at a job you may not love, to earn money to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't like. In this equation, your possessions own you. They own your time, your energy, your freedom. His life at Walden was the proof. By material standards, he was poor. By his own, he was immeasurably rich. He had the wealth of time, the wealth of nature, the wealth of a clear conscience. As he wrote, "I make myself rich by making my wants few." This principle is incredibly empowering because it puts the source of wealth entirely in your control. You don't need a promotion. You don't need to win the lottery. You can become richer right now by wanting less, by consciously deciding what is enough. This is the philosophical engine behind movements like FIRE, financial independence, retire early. People living frugally not because they are cheap, but because they value their freedom more than luxury. They are buying back their time. They understand, as Thoreau did, that your life is the only currency that truly matters. The cost of a thing, he wrote, is the amount of what I will call life, which is required to be exchanged for it, immediately or in the long run. When you redefine wealth as freedom and time, you break the spell of consumer culture. You step off the treadmill. Rule 4. Live deliberately. This final rule is the synthesis of the other 3. The ultimate goal. To live deliberately means to live with intention, with awareness, with purpose. It is the absolute opposite of quiet desperation. It is the conscious choice to be the author of your own existence. Thoreau's famous declaration that he went to the woods to live deliberately was a commitment to be awake. He was going to pay attention. He wanted to front only the essential facts of life and see what they had to teach him without the filter of convention or secondhand experience. To live deliberately is to stop sleepwalking through your days. How often do we eat a meal while scrolling, I'm barely tasting it? How often do we say yes out of habit, without asking if it aligns with our values? This is the autopilot life Thoreau feared. The first 3 rules are the tools that make a deliberate life possible. Simplicity clears away the clutter that prevents you from being present. Self-reliance gives you the courage to follow your own path. Redefining wealth frees you from the chase, allowing you to pursue intentional goals. In the 21st century, living deliberately is an act of rebellion. It means choosing to be present in a world designed to distract you. It means consuming with intention. It means choosing your activities based on what nourishes your soul, not what is merely easy or expected. This doesn't mean every moment is profound. Thoreau had to battle weeds and endure lonely nights. But he was present for all of it, and he was determined to experience the genuine texture of life, whether it was mean or sublime. He didn't want to miss a thing, and that, ultimately, is what it means to live. Section 4. The transformation. The true riches of a simple life. After 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, Thoreau left Walden Pond. He wrote, "I left the woods for as good a reason as I went there. Perhaps it seemed to me that I had several more lives to live, and could not spare any more time for that one." His experiment was over. By the standards of the rat race, he had nothing to show for it. No career advancement, no portfolio. But his transformation was total. He had proven his thesis, that a person could live a fulfilling, joyful life on next to nothing. He hadn't just survived, and he had lived more deeply in those 2 years than most people do in a lifetime. He returned not as a hermit, but as a man who had discovered a source of wealth that could never be taken away, a rich inner life, and an unshakable understanding of his own soul. It is crucial to understand that Thoreau's message is not that we must all go live in cabins. He himself said, "I would not have anyone adopt my mode of living on any account." The cabin was his laboratory. The principles he discovered are universal. The real Walden is not a place, it's a mindset. It's a commitment to question the default settings of the culture and to consciously design a life that aligns with your true values. This path isn't easy. It requires the courage to go against the grain, to be misunderstood. But the reward is a life of authenticity and freedom. It is the replacement of that quiet, gnawing desperation with a quiet, profound contentment. It's the discovery that abundance isn't something you acquire, it's something you uncover. As Thoreau wrote, "As you simplify your life, the laws of the universe will be simpler. Solitude will not be solitude. Poverty will not be poverty, nor weakness, weakness." So there they are, the 4 rules of life from the man who lived in a shed. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Subtract everything that is not essential. Master the art of self-reliance. Cultivate your inner authority. Redefine your definition of wealth. Measure it in life, not dollars. Live deliberately. Be the author of your own story. Over 175 years later, his message echoes with more urgency than ever. These principles are a practical, proven antidote to the anxiety of our age. A roadmap to reclaiming your attention and your peace of mind. You don't need to build a cabin to begin. You can start now, with a single choice. The choice to put down your phone and take a walk. The choice to say no. The choice to appreciate what you have instead of chasing what you don't. The journey begins not with an axe, but with a shift in perspective. Which of these rules cuts the deepest for you right now? That's the one to pay attention to. If this shifted something in you, understand this is just the surface. There are frameworks and conversations the system would rather you never discovered. Those are for the people who want to go deeper than what's polished for public consumption. You'll know if that's you. If you're ready to act on what you already know, subscribe and take the next step.